Are we live yet? Are we live? I think we're live. Hey, everybody. We're a little late to our live stream, but we're here. Gracias, Daniela. I'm so glad. I'm excited for this interview. There's a lot going on in Puerto Rico right now. So, Daniela and I recently went to the huge march for Esencia. How did that feel for you?
Felt amazing just knowing that there's so many people like us that are fighting to conserve and protect Puerto Rico, Boriken.
Sí.
And like it was tough because it was in the middle of the heat, but we all did that 1.5 miles, and then we had like a beautiful, I don't know if you saw the areito that happened.
Sí.
So I'm part of that Taino tribe.
I loved
So it was really beautiful to do that with the community. And at a place where it felt it's like the Capitolio, like very like government focused.
The contrast was
it was such a powerful statement. So I loved it.
No, I definitely think the 50,000 people out there was super inspiring and motivating. And we were just talking. So for those of you just tuning in, right, this podcast is about social issues in Puerto Rico. We connect different themes. In today's conversation, we're going to be talking a little bit about rematriation. We both have come back to Puerto Rico. Were you born in Puerto Rico or were you born outside of Puerto Rico?
I was born in New Jersey.
You were born in New Jersey? I was born in Massachusetts.
Oh, okay.
Though I was raised in Florida.
Okay.
And you were raised fully in New Jersey. Yeah, so there's a lot of New Jersey Ricans who follow my page. So, I appreciate it. I appreciate that people are connecting to what's going on right now. And if you guys haven't seen yet, Defiende a Cabo Rojo, Pa la calle contra Esencia on Instagram, have a petition. Please sign it. It's a Google form. It doesn't take more than a couple of minutes. And the community really needs us to show support. I think there's a lot of people who argue, oh, that's not going to work. But it's more about showing your solidarity with the community and showing that you stand behind them. And I think in the case of Puerto Rico, oftentimes it's really more about helping people see that there is a movement, that there are people against these things, and they aren't giving up. So I'll just leave that there. Either go to my bio or go to Defiende Cabo Rojo so that you can sign that. And then outside of that, there's another protest happening this Thursday, I believe, the 23rd. Is that Thursday? I think so. Rio Piedras. And it's about reproductive justice. So please check out my page soon. I'll be sharing those details. But anyway, let's get started because we only have about like 25 minutes, and I want to go into your story. So, ¿dónde empezamos? I think for me, rematriation wasn't really a thought until, personally, the death of my stepdad, actually. Yeah, he passed away después de Huracán María.
Wow.
And that was when I first thought to myself, spending time with my mom, like, I want to be here. I want to be and spend time with her. I want to spend time with my abuela. And I think the shock of also finding out what colonialism is, because when you grow up in the diaspora, no one tells you that we're a colonized people. And when you grow up also with parents that are not also in the movement or had the sort of education, political education, because they're both of my parents from barrios. So anyway, how was it for you in terms of that connection to I want to return? What kind of formed in your head to lead to that?
Yeah, so I was born and raised in New Jersey. Luckily, my family would always bring me in the summers to where my family's from, which is the Campo, Jayuya.
In Jayuya, Jayuya in the house, anybody?
So I always had the opportunity to feel very close to my culture,
Sí.
And then when I grew up and was like making my own money and had my own career going, I had been called to just go to Puerto Rico often. I was working a stressful job in New York City, and I was like, okay, every time I have a weekend, I'm going to Puerto Rico. And then from there, I was like, I want to like have my own space here. I was staying with my cousins, my aunts, but I was like, I have the opportunity.
Did any of them ever talk about the history of colonialism or any of the? No. Okay.
No.
Just want to check.
No,
because
actually, my family's very they're very conservative people, so I had to do so much decolonization like throughout my life, especially starting in Puerto Rico. That's where my eyes started really, opening up to like the reality of life. Like I grew up with all conservative minds. So when I started to think my own way was like through college and then living on my own. And
wow, I feel that.
Yeah.
That's happened to me too. When I was in college is where I was like started to question things because you're away from all that influence.
Exactly.
And also you're surrounded by a lot of diverse conversations. And also then you start hearing about things like War Against All Puerto Ricans and other books. But anyway, continue.
The books were a huge part of my decolonization story too. But so I, about 4 years ago, when Hurricane Fiona happened. So that was the same time where I was interested in buying a home here. I had like the opportunity to do so. So I was looking, I found a place that I really liked. So I like closed that like 2 months before Hurricane Fiona. And originally I was like thinking, oh, I'll go here, there and back and forth from Puerto Rico to New Jersey. But when I saw what happened with the hurricane, I was like, I want to move there right away. That just like drew me. This was before I knew what rematriation was. What even diaspora was. I didn't know like what these words meant until I got to Puerto Rico. So I had like a natural calling to come to Puerto Rico without really knowing, fully my spirituality and like what decolonization means and what it means to rematriate and what you get from it. So like, thank God, spirit.
And when you say what you get from it, like that connection, that sense of like your own identity kind of coming together again, is that what you mean? Because I feel like it means different things to different people. So I'm curious how you connect with that term.
Rematriation is like, it's such a beautiful term, and I love it. When I learned about it, I was like, this connects with me fully. And what I realized is when I came back to the motherland, I have had so many blessings that have taught me where I'm supposed to be in life, and also just like spiritual growth, learning what life is truly about. I feel like in New Jersey, it's like so in the States
American
in general,
culture.
it's like demand. You just like, you don't even look at the sky. You're just like trying to rise the ranks of like corporate, or just figure out day by day and like that American dream. But when I came here, I was given the opportunity to look at like life in such a different way. And I really think it's because of the energy of being in Boriken and it naturally connecting me with people who were like-minded.
Exactly.
And I'm a pharmacist by background, so I like that whole decolonization was not only in my life but also in the healthcare system. So here I learned a lot about plants, and I had and I continue to have amazing mentors in the herbalism space that have taught me so much about what true wellness is. And there's so much decolonization in just the wellness space that you have to do to like understand that we need to start making a movement towards going back to the land and what it provides for us, and also taking care of it, because it's so important. If we don't take care of it, we won't be able to sustain ourselves, because we're part of nature.
It's so common sense, but yet, again, the American culture, imperialism, capitalism, all of the isms have really taken us far away from that. And I think like when you mention the spirituality, I feel like I also connect to it in the sense of spiritual, in the sense of like I'm connecting, but also spiritual in the sense that I'm recognizing the struggle side of it. The fact that when you can go to protest, but we were just talking about this, like it's not just going to a protest. If you can't go to protest, there are other ways of resistance, and what you do and how you live your life. That is the biggest resistance that you can find, and that you can own, and I think that's a lot of what people are trying to explain. Like, at least that's what I try to explain to people. It's not just going to a protest, not just showing up to workshops and community things, which are good and you should, but when you can participate actively. And I'm glad you mentioned mentors too. Like how, for those people who are maybe seeking mentors, what is your approach? Like, how do you, is it something that people just show up in your life and the universe kind of brings you together, or did you actively like search and reach out and ask for help? How did that come about?
We were talking before, like how to ethically move to the, back to your motherland.
That's
and
a big
I think
one.
Sometimes people like, they'll want like comfort. So they'll find a home and, they'll have a remote job from the States, and then, just live, like have people visit them from the States. But like really what has given me the opportunity to learn so much is going out there to the community and asking questions to the community. Oh, what do you do for fun? Like, I'm into wellness. Like, who should I be talking to? And then people will like send me like different Instagram pages to look at and different events. And then from there, I reach out to those people. And little by little, that has brought me into this like beautiful community. I remember when I first got here, I told one of my mentors without knowing anything, I was like, I really want to like bring wellness to Puerto Rico. Like, and she's like, this is a huge space in Puerto Rico. You just need to find them. And I was like, okay, please help me.
It already is here,
yes.
right? You just have to find them. Exactly.
And wow, like I mean, the people who are doing, they're just like so many beautiful people here doing amazing things for Boriken, and I was inspired by them to do the same, you know? And now that's what I'm trying to do with Petra Aroma. Just in a way that's more focused on the land and how we can connect to it and know that the plants that are provided for us here can sustain us with wellness, and that we should learn how to understand our bodies when we need some support and how we can get support from the land around us. I want to share that with people. That's beautiful. Like really what my calling is, and I found that out in Puerto Rico, in Boriken. In New Jersey, it would have been so hard for me to get that message.
Yeah, I like that you say that. I think like sometimes people say that's kind of the criticism of diaspora too, that like they don't know until they live here what it is like, what the struggle is, but also what the joy is, but also what the which communities are actually actively working to dismantle colonialism. And I just want to make a note of that, right, to people who've mentioned and a political education piece too, that so many people in the diaspora are learning not to take on that hat, right, of like the way American culture works, is like coming into a space and thinking, I have all the answers. The answers are here. The community is already here, has been working for decades upon decades fighting this. It's not our place to come here and then impose like this is the way, but work and find those people and connect with them and listen and learn, which was immediately what I did when I came here too, because I had started this podcast way before and I had started it over there just trying to understand and educate myself, and in the process educate others. And so that when I finally came here, I had some knowledge, but I'm still learning all the time. And I think like a lot of people get kind of overcome by their ego and they don't realize like, let go of the ego. Even me, let go of the ego. There are times when I have to be like, no, let go of the ego. You got to listen. But along those lines, right, when we talk about plants and how, you know, you use your background to kind of deconstruct this, tell me a little bit more about like the plants that you've used and also your products. How did you come about doing the brand, or not the brand, but the products around Petra Aroma?
So I learned about herbalism through amazing teacher. Her name is, well, I've had different teachers, but one of them, her name is Ola. She is African and lived here for a long time. She just rematriated actually last year to Kenya, which is amazing. So she has a herbalism school called Wellness of Indigenous Wisdom, where just the first course, which is like 6 months long, is decolonizing your mind. And that changed my life. Amazing. So she like totally took us on this like beautiful journey of reading books that like really has changed my aspect of like what wellness truly is, and then how to incorporate plants in that. And like that was my first thing about decolonizing wellness. And then Maria Benedetti, she's amazing mentor of mine. She's from the diaspora, knows so much about herbalism because in the 90s she interviewed like 200 to 300 abuelos and like curanderos, all different types of people who were healing in the mountains, and wrote a book. And this book is just like gold.
I'm gonna find this book.
Yes, it's called Hasta los baños te curan. They have it in English and Spanish.
Ay, perfecto.
So she still does a lot of courses today and of all different things. So I made it like a thing for me, even before starting Petra Aroma, to take all of her courses
to learn.
To learn. Every time she sends me something, I try my best to go to it, because she's just like, while she's here, like I want to learn everything. So that way I can pass mission on. And it's such a beautiful thing that she's doing. She's a huge inspiration for me. So yeah, like they started my aspect of like learning about plants. And then from there I knew I wanted to start something here, and I just really like the concept of herbal oils because it's a way of like self-love. A lot of people don't feel comfortable like touching their bodies themselves. So I think it's really cool to like provide someone like an herbal oil that's made with the plants from their land that not only has a beautiful aromas, which is where Petra Aroma comes from, because I only work with plants that have like very unique aromas. but also the components, the chemical components, which is where my pharmacy mind comes in, comes together to make this amazing oil that can heal you from pain relief, stress relief, fix like, and it's like antibacterial. So there's like all these different products that we have that are focused on hair, skin, and body. And all of it comes from plants from the land. And that's something really important for our brand. Like we always want to use plants that come from the local farmers, land stewards that taking care of our land. And like people have seen the difference when you use a product that comes from close to home versus something that has 20 different ingredients and you can't even pronounce them. Yeah, you feel like
it's like
it's not the same.
It's not. It's kind of like I equate it a little bit to like when someone cooks for you versus like ordering out. It's totally different. When someone cooks with love, you feel it. So when you put something on your body that is natural, you absolutely feel it. And I think that's been a conversation too with decolonizing, like understanding that these big corporations are going to trying to make profit will, but things will poison your body, and I think especially in light of Esencia, we're talking about how, they destroy and poison the earth. They're doing the same thing to our bodies, which is why it's so important to have, again, conversations with people that are working against that, against the current. Do you have any products that we could look at? I was going to say, let's look at them. Because I think that's another cool thing that I feel like I go to a store and I do look at the ingredients. I mean, this has gone on for a while back, but it's one of those things where like now I'm very active about like, does it have that thing that I heard is bad for you? And I try to, but I think it's important too for people to understand that there are local people. And I think here we're actually in Colabora Studios. I want to mention that. They have local brands here on their shelf. And I think that's a big part of the movement in Puerto Rico. I've seen a lot of local brands, like let's support each other. Claridad, Festival Claridad. I went there and I saw a lot of local brands that I'll be sharing as well. But
that's the thing. I love the thing I love about Boricuas is that like there's all about local. Like they love to support it. And that's something I felt here that made me feel so happy. It's like, as long as you bring things, and that's the thing, you have a responsibility as a maker of something to bring out stuff that's good for people. And like that's something I don't take for granted. So I always make sure like I do things with the highest quality in mind. So
I love it.
Okay. So these are some oil. This is the first one I'll show you guys. It's called Anani. All the names actually are indigenous words that come from our ancestors. So Anani is known to mean like lotus flower in the water. So this is a stress relief oil that has local tulsi and hierba buena, which is spearmint. So it's really good for like controlling the nervous system and just like cooling down the body.
Important, especially now. There's a lot of stressful news cycles that we need. And tell me a little bit when you mentioned like touching the body, right? Like there's a lot of people who aren't used to that or don't think about that. So this stress oil, where do you put it on your face, on different?
So this stress oil, like I would suggest your whole body. So I actually work with a lot of massage therapists because my idea is how beautiful would it be to see professionals who heal with their hands use an oil, not just for work so they can slip their hands better, but also to provide wellness and to elevate the practice. So I've been working on that. So this is a great body, like full body oil.
Okay.
I have like face oil that is really nice as well. It has lemongrass and hojas de guayaba. So this one's really nice because it's like antibacterial. It has antioxidants in it, and it can be used for the face and the body. So you can like it has like multiple uses. It's one of the most popular ones we have. But what's awesome about it is that like all the plants come from here, and there's history. All the plants have history here, and the way that our ancestors have used it for centuries, we can continue doing that. Another one that I really like is guayaba, which is really popular. It's a pain relief oil. It has 2 native trees of Puerto Rico, Malagueta and Almácigo, and these were sacred to our ancestors. It's really good for pain relief, both like in the muscular and like bone pain.
So like arthritis.
Yes, exactly.
I'm gonna get my mom one of this.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So this is and it also has rosemary, local rosemary.
Wow.
So really good for like increasing circulation. And then we have this really nice self-love oil that's really great for the body, that's made with cacao husk, like the shell of cacao from Añasco it comes from. This is an all-time favorite of a lot of people too, because you just like cacao is known sacredly to help open up the heart chakra and just release your emotions. So it's a really deep, comforting oil. That's why I call it that. And then Nanichi means my love in Taino language.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay,
So-
we want all of these. I want to get one of
Exactly.
each. And then I see you have one more.
Yes, this was my first
Yes.
one. It's a hair oil.
Oh, so you started with hair oil. Was there
yes.
any reason in particular you started with hair?
I really just love the plants that are in it. So Malagueta and Romero, rosemary.
Oh, okay.
Malagueta is just such a like, it has so much history in our traditions. There's a type of medicine called alcoholado, where you would put alcohol and then just put a bunch of those leaves of malagueta, leave it for like months, and then the alcohol turns brown, and that's what our Jibaro ancestors would use for pain relief, for cooling their body. So I thought it would be really cool to learn more about the components of the plant. And then I realized that with rosemary's components, so this is where my scientific background comes in,
I
it
love
would
it.
be really cool for like a hair oil, because it'll help nourish this cuero cabelludo, and then also like help just feel part of the land as well at the same time. So it helps like with removing the I'm like Spanish and English thinking at the
It's
same
okay.
time.
Spanglish is welcome
Yeah,
here.
caída
You
del,
already know.
okay, yeah. So like prevenir caída del pelo is something that I love about it. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then
Preventing hair loss. So
yes, preventing
you
hair
place
loss.
this both on the scalp and just on the
Yes.
ends.
So I
Okay.
use it for my curls too. Like right now, I only put the
That's
oil, which is really
beautiful.
cool because it's almost like
Yeah.
decolonizing your hair care too. So I used to use creams that had so many ingredients in it, and then now I just use the hair oil.
Side note, I remember I watched a reel of a woman who went to a river. I don't think it
Oh,
was
yeah.
here. Yo creo que ella estaba en Jamaica. I think it was in Jamaica.
Oh yes.
But she was using
I
like
saw
a
that.
flower.
Yes.
to, like-
hibiscus.
Yes.
Because hibiscus naturally turns into soap. The leaves. Yeah. So this is what we need to learn, guys.
Guys, we have to do.
Yeah.
Yes, we have to both like support local, but
Yeah,
also
yeah.
recognize exactly like you have a mission, and that's another part of what Diaspora can do about
Mhm.
ethically returning. Like
Yeah.
find ways to connect to the earth
Yeah.
and to bring this kind of knowledge too, because
Exactly, yeah.
like all of this is very but like new to me, and I think will be new to a lot of people who are
Mhm.
watching the live stream. It's like things like this aren't just naturally available to people. So do you do workshops? Do you do any kind of educational piece
Yeah.
along with this? Or?
Yeah, that's definitely
Okay.
important for me too. So I do like talleres in different places, not just about the oils, but also about like different plants that
And
in
people
Puerto
can
Rico.
reach out to you through your Instagram.
Yes.
Is that the best way?
Exactly.
Yeah.
On my Instagram is where I would show like all the events that we do. And
Yeah, and you're also educating there too, because I saw some of your
Yeah.
reels as well, and I'm like, this is great to see not just
Yes.
how you work or
Mhm.
the mentors. I saw your mentor there,
Mhm.
but just understanding like how things are connected to the earth and how
Exactly.
like when you say that decolonizing even our hair care is like it's not something most people are used to. So I'm really glad that you're doing this work.
Thank you.
Déjame ver, was there anything else that I missed? Right, because I feel like we've covered a lot.
Mhm.
Anything else I missed that you wanted to talk about, especially with like diaspora coming back, and
Yeah.
especially telling people like what is an ethical way of coming back
Mhm.
to the land?
I think like something that was really big for me was connecting with the history of my family and like my ancestors. Like that's where the name Petra Aroma comes from my grandmother, abuela Petra. So she's from Ponce, and she passed away like over 10 years ago now. And I didn't get to connect with her deeply, but I knew that she loved medicinal plants, and she would do like herbal baños and stuff like that. So this was my way to like empower the medicine of our ancestors. And because she's such a big part of it, I get a lot of guidance from her and from like the past as well. And I think that's really important. Like we've talked about this, but talking to our elders in the community is just like something that we really need to prioritize, because they have so much knowledge that can get easily lost right now. You know, and that's why like I try my best to learn from elders, and if there's any elders in like the talleres that I do, I always ask them, what do you use this for? Because I want to know like what you have used this, because they always have a story, you know. Like my
they always have stories.
Yes.
And I don't mind sitting through for hours listening to them. That's the thing, they always have the best stories.
Yes. So I think like thinking about the past and how we can like modernize it and bring it forward and then like share it with the community, like I think that whatever that is for everyone, because it's different, like that is what we should bring when we rematriate. And I think it's beautiful what you're doing too, because you're sharing so much information about what's going on in Puerto Rico to prevent further destruction and to preserve the culture that we have. And a lot of that is talking to people. You're exactly doing what is needed, talking to people and making sure that this is shared on a live audience, that like there's no bias around it, you know. It's like these things are needed.
Preserving it into so I love what you say about like bringing it in forward into future generations, because I think a lot of what we talk about too is that unfortunately with diaspora we see this like not just a disconnect, but a sense of like a losing of ancestral memory, ancestral knowledge, and like we can't prevent what has already been lost, but I think connecting people to what is and sort of bringing that forward. I mean, big part of why I really respect a lot of the people that do documentaries in Puerto Rico, and why I want to continue to do the podcast and document, because this, hopefully, you know, maybe this live stream will be seen a year from now by someone who needs it, who's someone who connects with it. So, and I'm really glad this, I am hoping, you know, right, Petra Aroma, that you continue to expand, and I wish you all the best, because we obviously do need these kinds of products. We need to be able to, you know, decolonize and spend our money where it needs to be spent, not keep funding, you know, these corporations and all that. Anyway, where can people find you? How can people, especially Petra Aroma, is it petraaroma.com?
Yes, it's petraaroma.com, and we ship to the US too. Something that's really important for me is connecting the diaspora to our products and our land. So but I had a calling to first start in Puerto Rico, like start locally and make sure we establish ourselves really well here. But I will for sure be making sure that we continue to like share this in the diaspora.
Have you been to New Jersey yet with your products?
So
you gotta do an event over there.
I have to do an event. Exactly. I haven't done an event in Jersey or New York, but I do have some people in New York that are Puerto Rican diaspora, and they, like, for example, she's a massage therapist. She buys our oils and uses it for her clients. So it's really cool to have that connection with her and that collaboration. And I just want to increase like making those collaborations with people in New York, New Jersey, Florida, wherever we're found, in Massachusetts.
Everywhere. There's so many Boricuas in Boston that I didn't know about. I'd been living there for years, and then I'm like, espérate, ¿qué es esto? Inquilinos en Acción in Boston, if nobody knows that org, amazing org in the community. So yeah, again, these are, you know, the reason I do this podcast. People, please share this interview. Please share this product with others, because it's so important that we get the word out to the diaspora. Like, I know so many people who would love, instead of spending their money on spend it here, spend it on products that are from Boriken. And yeah, I appreciate everyone that's been watching. And like I said, please share it. Please support the podcast, because again, these conversations are so important and so essential. So thank you guys again. I hope you'll get the products. If you do, send us a DM. I want to be able to share that. And yeah, we'll see you guys again at the next live stream. Bye, everybody.
Bye.